What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. Max points obtained in the Fusion/Link Festival. The goal has been reached, and based off from the content as I made the announcements in regards of a few days ago or the past week, at the time that this video goes up, I officially said that Lunalight is going to enter this event specifically for the first time ever because we need something new out of the way from the get-go. So, first things first, on behalf of the Lunalight community, for those who said that no XZ or basically Lunalights tend to XZ spam, first off, no XZs, no problem. We got that covered from the get-go. And second of all, never in doubt about Lunalights performing way too well. So in most cases, we ended up playing Lunalight OTK Blind 2nd Edition. So, with that being said, before we jump into the profile, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. Also, if you are a brand new or returning Master Duel player after one full month of missing gameplay, be sure to use my campaign code in the description below so we can gather the leftover prizes for future content. Deck profile time. First things first, I will actually start with the non-engine first, just to get it out of the way. 2 Danger Mothmans. I mean, it's basically we constantly cycle on the draw cards, which is nice. And a lot of times in which ashing or drolling doesn't do too much out of the circumventing dangers, but at the same time is where I literally learned this interaction is where even if they droll you, you still can use the hand effect of dangers. It's just if they miss something else, you won't be able to get the draw card out of it, but you get the free special, which is insane. And when it comes to ashing the dangers, which 1 or 2 times it may or may not happen, don't ash the dangers because hand effect is not once a turn. To Santa Claus, 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. In testing is where the ratios between the 2 to 3 Santa Claus as well as 2 Santa Claus, 1 Pankratops came up. It's basically just 2 of this, 1 of this, or 3 of the Santa Claus, but I felt like both copies of Santa Claus and Pankratops come up a lot because obviously we are blind second. We tend to OTK a lot if done correctly. Raigeki, Feather Duster, Polymerization, courtesy of Black Sheep and or Kaleido Chicks. Graveyard Effect. Well, Black Sheep's Discard Effect and Kaleido Chicks Graveyard Effect. Change Your Heart, Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial Goots. It's for the sake of perfume and or serenade dance, but we will get into that in a bit. Tactics Talent, Tactics Thrust. 3 Tanky, shouldn't need to say much. Scapegoat, it's for your Durumador lines, which again, we'll get into that in a bit. 2 Book of Eclipse, absolutely insane, because if I expect any monster floodgates that are legal for this event, turning it off so that certain cards and or conditions cannot be met by any means necessary. Call by Blizzard, card comes up clutch status, and 3 imperms. That's that for the non-engine / hand traps in any combinations. Now, Lunalight cards. 3 Kaleido Cheek. Once per turn, you can send 1 Lunalight monster from your deck or extra that to the graveyard, which is the entire cost. So Surprise factor. A lot of people tend to affect Valor or imperm the Collided Cheek. Don't do that because the cost has already been paid from the get-go. The resolution is the name of this face-up card on the field can be treated as the sent monsters if used as fusion material this turn. And not a hard once per turn on the tossing out as the cost, which is crazy. And then if she were to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect, she lets you grab one poly from grave to hand, and that effect is a once per turn. And then the banish effect is not once per turn. If she's banished, the resolution is your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. So it's essentially Meteor Burst or Sangenpai before Meteor Burst or Sangenpai were cards. 3. Lunalight Tiger. Back in the day, as of Tiger first existence, her reborn abilities is not once per turn, which is absolutely crazy. Not a hard once per turn. And it made Tiger become banned because too many lines involving making the Azathoth combo in TCG land in the early years, it makes it so that not being able to do too much involving this line, it was a little too wild. So the monster effect is hard once per turn, which is if she's killed from the field by battle or card effect, she lets you reborn a Lunalight. And then the scale effect, also monster reborn a Lunalight, which is a soft once per turn. You can target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special it out, but it cannot attack, effects negated, and it gets killed during the end phase. So any combination between Sheik, Tiger, and the 2 Yellow Martin, you're just essentially doing a little small hoops and hurdles with the loops from the get-go. So as for the Yellow Martin, if this card is in your hand, you can target one Lunalight card you control, spell/trap included, and scale as well, and or scale. That isn't Yellow Martin. Kick it back to the hand, and if you do, special this out in defense, but banish it when it release. So essentially, she's Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, the Lunalight version, and then you basically reset Tiger's scalability, and you just constantly keep on reborning from the get-go. Same with Wolf's Miracle Fusion, but we'll get to that in a bit. And then if she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to add one Lunalight spell trap from deck to hand. Most cases, it'll be the Serenade Dance, so we'll just get right over with it. So when a fusion monster's more than one is fused summoned to your field outside of the damage step, you can target one of those to not only generate a Lunalight token, but that monster gains 500 attack for every monster your opponent, for each monster your opponent controls, even if it leaves. That effect is like literally never gonna happen, but it's the graveyard effect that makes it happen, which is a hard once per turn. During your main phase, you can banish this from your grave. The resolution is send one card from hand to the grave, and if you do, E-Telly one Lunalight monster from your deck. One Black Sheep. Everybody knows what's up about Black Sheep. Discard her to get the Poly Search, but you can also discard her just to get one Lunalight from grave to hand. So especially the fact that if you have the Tiger or Wolf in your graveyard, you can literally fix the scale so that way if you have the right requirements, you get to keep on playing the game from the get-go. And then if Black Sheep was to send to the graveyard just because of a fusion summon, you can add to your hand one face-up Lunalight Pendulum from your extra deck or one Lunalight from grave to hand that isn't Black Sheep. And then Purple Butterfly, this was one of the missing cards that I tested it out without it. The combo did not function without it, and it made me think there was no legitimate and legal way for me to perform the OTK lines, and I figured Purple Butterfly is literally missing the key piece. The case about this, you can send this card from hand or field to the graveyard, target one Lunalight monster you control, it gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. And that boosting effect is not a hard once per turn. And then The second effect, which is a hard once per turn, which is you can banish this from your grave, special one Lunalight from your hand. So free extension of a Lunalight from your hand, which is nice. One Emerald Bird. Emerald Bird can be coming up a lot, doesn't come up too much in terms of the normal or special summon effect, but at the same time is where cycling cards is amazing. The case about her is, upon normal or special, you can send one Lunalight card, spell trap included, aka Serenade, Dance, and if you do, draw one card. And then if she's sent to the graveyard because of a card effect, you can target one level 4 or lower Lunalight monsters that is banished or in your graveyard that isn't Emerald Bird herself, specially in defense, but effects are negated. So essentially, we just basically link climbing from the get-go. Each effect once per turn. Lunalight Wolf, the game ender by any means necessary. The monster effect enables all of your Lunalights grant pierce battle damage, and then the scale effect is, aside from the pendulum shokin of Lunalights only, Wolf enables you to perform a miracle fusion but for Lunalights, which is the game ender, for the sake of Leo Dancer or any of the other Lunalight fusions, but mainly Leo Dancer most of the time. 3. Lunalight Perfume. This is your reborn of a Lunalight monster, not a hard once per turn. And then the graveyard effect is, you can banish this, then discard one, add one Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, which is also not once per turn. Insane. And then the Serenade Dance, as I said from before, we already got that covered. As for the extra deck, one of each Lunalight fusion. Saber Dancer, this is meant for the graveyard effect. The on-field effect, in terms of on-board presence, literally never comes up. Cat Dancer, Panther Dancer, and Leo Dancer, all of these 3, 7, 8, and 10, they all have their own uses of effects, and they all came up throughout some course of scenarios of matchups. So, Cat Dancer, who takes 2 Lunalights, she has the battle immunity, and she has the ability to tribute one other Lunalights as of your main phase 1. She enables to, so sorry about that. It's been a long while. It's been only 1 or 2 days playing Lunalight. Once per turn during your main phase 1 specifically, you can tribute one other Lunalight monster. Throughout the rest of this turn, the first time each monster your opponent controls will be killed by battle, it is not. Also, Cat Dancer enables to attack twice. And once she swings, she burns your opponent 100 damage, which is a way to close out games by any means necessary. And this card's burn damage effect, she came up during the Millennium matchup, which is huge. Panther Dancer, to be specific, who uses Cat Dancer and a Lunalight, she has the destruction protection from opponent's card effects, and she has the ability to, on main phase 1, you can activate this. Literally the same concept as Cat Dancer, minus the tribute, and then if she were to kill an opponent's monster by battle, she gains extra 200 attack, and she enabled an OTK scenario, or to clear out multiple monsters in a game in one of the feature matches against a hero guy. And all I can say is Panther Dancer is real mad. Leo Dancer, however, she uses Panther Dancer along with 2 Lunalights to make her, and then she has the targeting protection and destruction protection from opponent's card effects. She's a Cyber Twin Dragon, and at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, or if this card attacked a monster, she can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls, which is insane. And she's able to attack again, which is nice. As for the links, in terms of the usages, access code, Unchained Abomination, Borosaur Dragon. Access code came up, Borosaur came up, Abomination, however, didn't, but in theory, it's meant for killing off your Lunalight Tiger and Scale, just so you can keep on reborning the Lunalights from the get-go, but it's never that unnecessary. But otherwise, Abomination is most likely going to be like either a Link to Nightmare or something else in terms of a Link 3, but there's no space issues for a really good Link 3 in this build. But otherwise, again, Borosaur and Access Code both came up. Azalea, she came up a few times. Dark, he came up a few times throughout the course of the progression. Clutch status. Cross Sheep is meant for access codes, attribute fodder that comes up, but the reborn effect off from Cross Sheep did not come up one time. Masquerina, she comes up. Beacop did not come up at all, but in theory, it's meant for protecting your Leodanza by any means necessary. Wee Witch, the majority of the cards are dark. Buff up your whole Lunalights. She need to say anything about it. Double Daruma Doll, this card is the best Link ever printed in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, because Daruma Doll's ability is where soft once per turn, he's basically a scrap dragon for spell traps. You pop one of your own, pop one of your opponents, so that way you get pop Tiger and keep on reborning your Lunalights. Or otherwise, like if you have no way to keep your extensions going, you can also pop your Serenade Dances along with something else, so you can keep your Lunalight plays going. And it's a Beast Warrior as well, so you can make it again, or from using its own or even more Lunalights in a loop rotations of sorts, so that way you're able to keep on constantly popping back row one by one with Daruma Doll's effects, which is nuts. And the destruction effect off from Daruma Doll is where if it runs over a monster, the recursion of a Beast Warrior and Winged Beast from grave or banish your hand, that comes up so much. So that way we have more cards to follow up in rotation for Lunalights. And with that being said, this has been James Polk with the unique Lunalight deck profile. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And if you are a brand new or returning Master Duel player after one full month of missing gameplay, be sure to use my campaign code in the description below so we can gather the leftover prizes for future content. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next event.